All the haters last night, their storyline was that you were moving around a lot. Just
Boxing?
I know, I just don't get it.
I'm a little disappointed, but I also know how good he is.
Could he take it easy? The whole world is watching. There's not a chance he's going to make it look like this guy can box with him.
Can you imagine if Jake?
A significant difference. And ultimately, he did what he had to do to survive. He tried to sneak in some big shots, but in the end, the better boxer was going to systematically break him down, and that's what he did, and he got the victory. So I left that show on Friday thinking, this feels like a win for everyone involved.
Joe Rogan was reportedly left stunned after Anthony Joshua allegedly pulled back the curtain on what truly happens behind the scenes of a Jake Paul fight contract. What many fans believe is simply a fun crossover boxing match was described as something far more calculated, structured, and tightly controlled. As Joshua allegedly explained the detailed clauses, restrictions, and hidden leverage built into these agreements, Rogan's reaction made it clear that this situation went far beyond boxing ability. This was not just about skill inside the ring, but about business power, fighter protection, and control over the narrative. Once the details Joshua revealed are considered, it becomes easier to understand why many established professional fighters have quietly chosen to walk away from the idea of ever facing Jake Paul.
He's like very underrated, but he's a 2-time heavyweight world champion. He's like one of the fucking scariest guys in the division. Lightning fast punches. 245 fucking pounds. He's huge. He's way bigger. Way more skilled.
He's like a foot taller. What's the height?
The bout, officially billed as Judgment Day, was contested over scheduled 8 3-minute rounds in the heavyweight division, with Anthony Joshua entering as the clear favorite due to his elite experience and significant size advantage. Joshua stood at 6 feet 6 inches and weighed approximately 243 pounds, compared to Jake Paul's 216 pounds. After several cautious and tentative early rounds, Joshua began asserting control, knocking Paul down multiple times in the 5th round. The fight was ultimately ended in devastating fashion during the 6th round at around 1:31, when Joshua landed a crushing right hand that sent Paul to the canvas and forced the referee to stop the contest.
Filing a lawsuit and will be taking legal actions days after getting knocked out by Anthony Joshua. So Jake Paul, who suffered a broken jaw after fighting AJ, has had enough of people questioning his legitimacy. JP's manager, Nakisa Bidarian, who's also the MVP co-founder, revealed that they're cracking down and will be suing a number of people for false claims, aka defamation. Folks, claims of Paul and Joshua having an agreement that Anthony Joshua disregarded that eventually led to Jake Paul getting knocked out have been circulating online, henceforth the reason for suing these people who keep on saying that JP's fights are rigged, scripted, or fake. As for Jake Paul himself, well, he recently spoke to his brother Logan and confirmed that 4 titanium plates are in place due to his injuries, with their mother also confirming that 8.
Jake Paul's game plan against Anthony Joshua was built around movement, speed, and avoiding Joshua's power for as long as possible. Before the fight, Paul openly stated that his strategy relied on agility and footwork, constantly circling the ring, maintaining distance, and forcing Joshua to chase him in hopes of frustrating the former heavyweight champion and surviving all 8 rounds. Paul and his team repeatedly emphasized the importance of avoiding one clean power shot while relying on cardio, angles, and movement to last the distance. The concept was simple: keep moving, frustrate Joshua, and make him miss rather than engaging directly with a heavier, stronger, and far more experienced puncher.
Biggest platform in the world, Netflix, ignoring the fact that Jake took on the biggest challenge he could possibly take on short notice. After Tank falls through, he goes and he's like, where's Francis? Okay, I'll go for the guy who beat Francis. I'll go for AJ. Ignoring the fact that, I think some people's stock were elevated on the undercard. Some of the fights on the undercard were really, really great. And ultimately, there isn't that much to be upset about. There isn't that much to be mad about. Netflix being involved in boxing is great. Jake stepping up and taking Anthony's best shots were great. I don't think Anthony looked bad at all. There were times where I felt like he was headhunting. There were times where I felt like he was trying to knock him out because I think he wanted to get rid of him. But you have to understand, when you have a guy who's running as much as he did and take shots at him or not for the game plan, that was his best way of surviving. It's like trying to chase a wet duck. You have to get him. And I think Anthony did actually a good job of pinning him into the corner sometimes, cutting off the ring, but it's hard to get a guy who's moving so much, who's clinching you, who's trying to do the antics that he was doing. That was the best chance for Jake to survive and then hope that he could crack him. He got tired, the ring was big, it was 22 by 22 as opposed to 20 by 20. There was a significant difference. And ultimately, He did what he had to do to survive. He tried to sneak in some big shots, but in the end, the better boxer was going to systematically break him down, and that's what he did, and he got the victory. So I left that show on Friday thinking, this feels like a win for everyone involved. This feels like a win for Netflix, a win for MVP, a win for Eddie and AJ and Matchroom. That's their guy. A win for Jake, and then a win for all the other fighters. I actually thought, in a way, it was the best of all the Netflix cards so far as the 3 MVP cards. People were a little disappointed with Taylor Serrano in the main event and the lack of action. People had their say about, Jake and Tyson and the streaming issues and whatnot. This was one that I felt like it was like, if you are looking at it, with a clear mind, clear conscience, no bias, check. That was my view. Now let me ask the team, what did you guys think? Rick, I'll start with you. I've not asked a single one of you what you thought. Rick and GC were in attendance. You guys were watching it. Didn't see you guys, by the way. I saw my mom and sister. I was looking for you guys. Couldn't see you. Was hoping for a wave. Was hoping for a little, how are you? Didn't see you guys. What did you think?
I think everybody did their part. I think you kind of touched on the fact that it seemed like everybody involved won. I don't know if I say that. I think you could kind of debate individuals, but I think everybody did their part. And for that, I mean, for the longest time we've been hearing, and the outcry has been, Jake Paul doesn't take real fights. We have to see Jake Paul in a real fight. That's the only thing that I care about. He doesn't take real fights. He only fights old people. He only fights this. He only fights that. He delivered. He put his nuts on the table and he said, I'm going to take a real fight. Not only am I going to take a real fight, I'm going to fight a former heavyweight champion with knockout power who just dispatched of Francis Ngannou 2 fights ago in a way that was quite devastating. I'm going to go in against that guy. So to me, Jake Paul held up his side of the equation. I kind of view these I didn't have high expectations in terms of the boxing product. I think of this like the way that some people used to say, like, I read Playboy for the articles. I don't watch Jake Paul fights for boxing. I watch Jake Paul fights for spectacle. Like, if you came in thinking that this was going to be a display of the greatest boxing you've ever seen, you're just misinformed. Like, I don't know what you could possibly...
Following the fight, Anthony Joshua was honest and reflective when assessing his performance, stating that although he secured a 6th-round knockout, he did not believe it was his best showing. Joshua admitted that he struggled early to land clean shots and was unable to corner Jake Paul as quickly as many had expected. He described the result as a win, but not a success, emphasizing that he believes he could have performed at a much higher level. Joshua made it clear that he still sees room for improvement and remains focused on refining his skills moving forward.
Lost half of his earnings for the fight with Jake Paul because he's a UK resident and the fight was in USA. He won the fight with Jake Paul, but USA and UK won him. For that fight, he's supposed to get $93 million. 37% of it went to taxes in USA, almost $35 million. Also around $15 million a tax to UK because the fight was not in the country. And if the fight was in UK, he would pay 3 times more tax. So from $93 million, he ended up earning only $43 million. This is weird, guys. If the fight was in Dubai, he would get all 93 million. Here, the government supports you to make money, not to lose money. Anthony Joshua and all the other sports guys, contact me and I will help you to move.
Despite the knockout loss, Eddie Hearn acknowledged Jake Paul's effort while maintaining a measured and realistic tone. Hearn noted that although Paul showed a certain level of toughness, the outcome of the fight was never truly in doubt. He explained that no one realistically expected Paul to last long against a fighter of Anthony Joshua's caliber, and surviving into the 6th round was more a reflection of durability than technical boxing skill. Hearn suggested that the performance highlighted the clear gap between social media crossover fighters and elite professional boxers, stressing that while lasting several rounds was notable, Joshua's experience and power ultimately controlled and decided the fight.
Jake was running and Jake was hold. But listen, I mean, at the end of the day, Jake had one job, and that was to try and survive. I mean, he was never ever going to win the fight, ever. And if you would have said to me, do I think he'll go 6 rounds? I would have said absolutely not. I mean, I felt that it would take AJ a couple of rounds to get hold of him, because I knew Jake can move a bit and he'd be moving off the back foot and he'd be holding. But it was the way that he did it, I think, was actually quite impressive. Like, not that particular part, but the way that he would, the way that he was strong in the clinch. He wouldn't let AJ get his shots off in the clinch. He made him miss a few times. And obviously AJ's been out of the ring for a while. But to be honest, I think the most fascinating thing of the whole night in terms of the fight was how he didn't get flatlined by that right hand. I mean, I said going into the fight, he's probably going to take AJ a few rounds to get hold of him. And I also said, as soon as he lands clean, the fight's over, right? He landed a few before, but the first that he landed really clean was the final shot. But, you know, he never flatlined Jake. I mean, he did break his jaw in 2 places, which is a disaster, but there are a lot of heavyweights that would have been out cold from that right hand. I mean, one of them was Francis Ngannou in a pretty similar shot, really. Do you know what I mean? So I actually give Jake unbelievable credit for doing it in the first place, but his performance as well. I mean, I stand by the fact that I think he's just a decent cruiserweight, but like he did go in with Anthony Joshua, and look, the world is full of criticism and opinions and negativity. Who else is doing what he's doing at what is he, late 20s? I mean, quite phenomenal. I mean, the guy's a complete madman. I'm watching him come out to that ring walk, and he's just a...
After the fight, Ryan Garcia shared a blunt and provocative reaction on social media that quickly gained attention throughout the boxing world. Garcia stated that while he respected Jake Paul's effort, he made a sharp comparison involving Gervonta Davis, suggesting that Davis would have inflicted even greater damage or ended the fight more decisively than Anthony Joshua did. His comments sparked further debate, with many boxing experts agreeing that the matchup did not represent elite-level competition. Even after the event, criticism of the fight continued, with some observers arguing that the Anthony Joshua vs. Jake Paul bout should never have taken